The first real fishing memory that I have is that of when I was about 5 years old. And I used to just sit on the edge of the dock and with 3 feet of line out and just run that lure back and forth and watch the MEP spin. And I went down to the dock one morning and sat there and right across, and all of a sudden this monster came out and just engulfed it. I held on to him. I made it, I did it. My grandfather and grandmother came running down, and it was a 12-pound northern pike landed by a 5-year-old boy, and at that point it was on. Family to me is something that's always there. It's always been there for me. It's always a pillar that I can rely on, whether it's my mom and that side of the family, my dad and that side of the family, and my wife, the family that I've married into. Family is the nucleus of who we are and what we rely on. I basically grew up in the television world. My dad took a job doing hockey games out in Calgary. So I remember at a very young age, age of 5, going out and experiencing my first production truck and getting behind the scenes at Calgary Flames games and getting hit by pucks by icons like Lanny McDonald. I didn't legitimately realize that I wanted to be in the television industry until my first paid gig when I was in university. I just fell in love with it. I mean, it was magic. There was, 25 cameras, there was directors yelling at each other and producers going crazy. And at that point I said, I'm gonna change my career focus and move from the outdoor recreation path that I was on. And I decided at that point I decided that TV is where I wanted to be. I worked in the outdoor space for years, 7 years doing rodeo and bull riding events. And when the network that I was working for decided that they were gonna leave the Western lifestyle genre, I got laid off. WFN, World Fishing Network, called me and said, hey, we know you love to fish. We know that you've got some TV background, and we want you to come and produce fishing shows for us. I love this sport more than almost anything in the world. Not just fishing, but everything that surrounds it, the conservation, the trials and tribulations that we have with our oceans and our water bodies. It's something that is truly all-encompassing. And if you ask my wife, it's too all-encompassing because it's what I live and breathe. I know that a mile from here, there's largemouth bass in a pond, and it's all I can do to sit at my computer and hammer out scripts and hammer out phone calls and things like that when I know that there's a frog bite going on right there, right now. Who wouldn't want to fish for a living? Really, who wouldn't? And I'm now entering my 6.5 year of being on this side of the camera, hopefully entertaining people. I wake up and I bound out of bed and it's become me, it's become who I am.